don't seem to understand. Earth isn't yours to conquer. I need a shower.
Dad!
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Buggy Reviews. Today's episode, we are going to be reviewing Invincible, the latest of superhero content coming out of Amazon these days. Invincible is a animated, adult-oriented superhero show based off of the comic of the same name. The comic was created by Robert Kirkman, who, if you are familiar with him, created the comic The Walking Dead, which the show of the same name is based off there. It is headlined by similar people who did The Boys, so like Seth Rogen and whatnot, and it promotes a heavy duty like lineup of voice actors in the roles. You know, Stephen Young, who also was in The Walking Dead. You have J.K. Simmons. You know, you got your Seth Rogens, Zachary Quino, Mark Hamill, Walter Goggins. Even some big name actors only showing up for maybe like one scene or two, like John Hamm. You know, and they even had a little tiny cameo from I think it was Justin Roiland, the guy who plays Rick Sanchez in Rick and Morty, and that was kind of funny. But yeah, what is this show? Okay, so the premise of this show is you are following the story of Mark Grayson, who is this teenager who gets his powers because his father is Omni-Man, who was kind of like the Superman in a sense of this world. Okay, he's the son of him. You know, it's kind of like a similar situation with like Superman, where the alien comes down, protects Earth and all that. Kind of went to raise a family, and Mark happens to be, you know, the son. So he's like half human and half Viltrumite, which is the race that Omni-Man is, who is played by J.K. Simmons. So he gets his powers, and he wants to become a hero just like his father. And so he thrusts himself into this new world, you know, and a thing about this is, like, if I would say that this show has, it knows what it's like, kind of like having a little fun with, because it's kind of like the DC animated shows, almost kind of like the Timverse stuff with like Justice League and the Batman animated series in a sense, and it kind of plays with the tropes of it a little bit, not like Ryan Johnson trope building. It's more like, it just kind of has a little fun on words. Like, despite Mark's name, that he calls himself Invincible, he gets his ass handed to him, like, practically every episode. To varying degrees, you know? It is not easy. And I think I like that. I like that he's not a Gary Stewish. Like, he's gotta work it, you know, to do the gig. You know, like, he may be strong, but it's like, you know, he can still get a good whooping in, you know. And the show is very adult oriented. Like, don't let your kids watch this, and this is cool. to it. You know, because of the action and the crazy fights that can happen and going on and just all this and the world. Oh, the world. It's just, I think it's only within the first, because the way they did the release schedule was they dropped the first 3 episodes out first, which was a perfect thing. Because you know me, I'm always that rule of 3 guy, where it's gotta be at least 3 or so episodes in, or otherwise I'm not gonna be hooked. And I was hooked by the first episode. I'm not gonna spoil it, but if you've seen that first episode, you know what I'm talking about. Just like, oh! But yeah, this show has, like, it hits you hard, you know, with the action and the blood and you know, the potential gore fest that could happen, you know. And the characters are, you know, they're interesting characters. I'd say save for 1 or 2 that just, one in particular that I'm not big on, but we'll elaborate on it later. So I think we'll start off with some characters. Like, so we have Mark Grayson, who's played by Stephen Young, who also played Glenn in The Walking Dead, amongst a number of other roles that I can't think of off the top of my head. He does, like, a really good performance, especially when there are these scenes where Mark Grayson is just in this, like, rage, you know? Like, there's this scene where, you know, like, he's just being trapped and he's, like, trying to fight off all these, you know, enemies, and he just, like, he just snaps. He's just like, you guys are fucking dead! You know, it's just this crazy just burst of emotion, you know, and like all the yelling and battle noises he's got to make. It's just like, ooh, good. That's good. That's the good stuff. You know, he's kind of like your typical, you know, teenage hero who's kind of trying to balance things out, and it kind of has fun with it. It's kind of got like the Peter Parker syndrome to a degree, because his superhero life is having a drastic effect on his real life, you know. Like, he can't really think he can go to college because he's always got to keep missing school to do superheroics. You know, he can't really have a relationship with it because he's always got to keep running off to go save people. You know, it has that kind of little bit for him in his story arc, you know. And he goes through some, like, various trials and tribulations to a degree. Then you have, like, I'd say, you have, like, your other characters, like, supporting characters, like, Walter Goggins, Cecil, who's kind of like an Amanda Waller, like, Amanda Waller, Nick Fury-esque character who runs this organization that basically does all the supporting for various superheroes and whatnot. They do all these crazy things behind the scenes and whatnot. You know, there's this real intricate world in there, because this is like a superhero world with, like, alternate dimensions, kaijus, robot people. You know, it's the whole shebang. It does not fuck around with that kind of thing. It knows what it is. But yeah, I would say, and of course the best character, I'd say one of the best characters in this whole show is Omni-Man, played by J.K. fucking Simmons. And the fact that Omni-Man looks like a dead ringer for J. Jonah Jameson, it just makes certain scenes just so much funnier when you see, you know, when you're seeing, like, J. Jonah beat the shit out of some people, you know, and you're just thinking, like, get me more pictures of Spider-Man! And obviously I don't think that was, like, an intentional thing on the show. It's just a funny little thing for me to say. But I know I'm rambling and I don't have any structure on this, but it's just the show is real good. I would say it has a real, like, tight knit little story. You know, the characters, save for maybe one, is very interesting, and the arc it goes through, like, the characters, you know, they feel like enjoyable and real to a degree. Then they have, you know, the actors who put like their A game on this, you know, because voice acting isn't just as simple as people would think. You really gotta make it work. And these guys, they put their work into it. Like, holy shit. Especially with Stephen Young and J.K. Simmons. They do impeccable work. Especially when they have their scenes together. Especially, like, near the finale when things get just... Holy crap. They just get up to, like, Mach 5. And it's just like, oh my god. Oh my god. It's just, the performance is just amazing. And I'm definitely looking forward to the next season and any future seasons after it, because it's just the show. It was a nice escape. It was a nice escape into this new world with interesting characters, an interesting world, and a story, and just to see where it could go. It was nice. You don't get that too often. And when you see some of this good stuff like this, it's like, yeah, I'm in for it. And would I recommend this show? I would say, yeah, if you really want a good, decent, like, superhero show, especially an animated superhero show that's more adult-oriented, I would recommend Invincible. No cap. I know that's cringe to say that shit, but yeah. And, honestly, I think that's it. I'm just gonna keep this short and sweet. That was my dumbass review of Invincible. If there's any other shows or movies or whatever you want me to review, leave it down in the comment section below. Tell me what you thought of Invincible. If you have seen it, what are your thoughts on it? Let me know. And I shall see you all on the next video of Buggy Reviews. Goodbye.